Greetings and welcome to another Pokémon Horizons the series anime episode preview discussion. This time I'm talking about the preview for episode 80, so let's get to it. In this episode, Liko and company, alongside Coral and Sidian, who are following them to fulfill their mission of keeping an eye on them and everything they do, will begin their exploration of Area 0, which will lead them to encounters with Paradox Pokémon, specifically Screamtail, Sandy Shocks, and Great Tusk. The former two we knew about due to the most recent special preview, while the latter we are finding out about now here with this preview. It is seen facing Coral and Glalie, who will clearly have a tough time, even though it has a type advantage. Though to be fair, it also has a type disadvantage. Presumably Sidian and Garganacl will battle too, but the preview does not show this. It does show, however, that Great Tusk won't be the only Paradox Pokémon who will battle. Sandy Shocks will also join the fray, with Roy and Crocalor, who is at a type disadvantage, serving as its opponents. Now, this is pretty much everything we can discern from this preview. However, I do have several things I want to say / discuss, 4 to be exact. First, it's obviously fantastic and very exciting that we will finally get to see Paradox Pokémon in Horizons. They are some of the coolest and most fascinating Pokémon introduced in Scarlet and Violet. Heck, Great Tusk is one of my favorite Generation 9 Pokémon, period. Therefore, it will for sure be a treat to see them animated, especially if we get to learn more about their behavior and lore. Second, I'm still hoping that Liko, Roy, and or Dot, one of them at least, will get to catch a Paradox Pokémon. Roy and Dot being most deserving of this, since Liko captured the Terapagos not too long ago, while her friends have not added a new Pokemon to their party in a very long time. In fact, all of them are very much behind in terms of captures if we compare them to Ash in every previous series in the same amount of episodes. Now, is it possible that they will catch a Paradox Pokémon? Well, considering how powerful, rare, and unique they are, I would normally say no. There's no way. But seeing that Liko got a legendary Pokémon, I'm inclined to believe that just about anything can happen at this point. Especially since Horizons is clearly not shying away from letting its main characters achieve things that should be impossible for them. Defeat a champion. So it can definitely happen, however, the timing and chain of events might not allow for this. Episode 81 will focus almost exclusively on gouging fire, meaning that it's very likely that there won't be time for anything but dealing with it. Episode 82, meanwhile, will seemingly be the conclusion of this arc, which is to say, it's when Liko and company will face Rayquaza in Area 0, as shown in the most recent special preview. I doubt they will have time for anything other than battling Rayquaza. Therefore, episode 80 is their only realistic shot at catching a Paradox Pokémon. But considering how busy they will be just trying to grasp the astounding environment they will find themselves in, and dealing with the vicious and strange creatures they will encounter in it, which will prove to be tough to deal with, capturing something is probably the last thing on their minds. So I doubt my wish will be granted, but I'm willing to still hold on to some hope and eager to be surprised, which is something this series has been quite good at thus far, especially recently. Seeing as Roy is seen interacting with a Paradox Pokémon the most, namely Sandy Shocks, he is the one most likely to catch a Paradox Pokémon, with the candidate being obviously the one I just mentioned. However, Liko and friends are not the only ones with a chance at catching a Paradox Pokémon. Coral is seen apparently teaming up with Screamtail to face Great Tusk. They and Glalie even pose together with similar attitude. So maybe Coral will catch Screamtail. Team Rocket got to catch Pokemon. I don't see why the Explorers cannot do the same. I would be all for her catching Screamtail. I think they make a great pairing, even if they clearly will get off to a bad start. Third, as amazing as it will be to finally see Paradox Pokémon in the anime, it's unfortunate that we likely won't get to see all of them. The 3 we went over and Gouging Fire are the only ones shown in the previews, and since Gouging Fire and Rayquaza await in the next 2 episodes, I doubt there will be time for the debut of other Paradox Pokémon beyond maybe just getting a brief look at a few of them at least, which is quite disappointing. This means no Brute Bonnet, no Fluttermane, no Slitherwing, and no Roaring Moon, another one of my favorites. Also no Walking Wake and no Raging Bolt. While we got to see these standard legendary beasts together, we likely won't get to see their ancient counterparts together, which would be insane, I know, but also so cool. No Koraidon either, though this is not one I expected to see anyways, at least not now. Hopefully I'm wrong, and some if not all of these will get to delight us with their appearance. Lastly, speaking of not getting to see all Paradox Pokémon in the anime, it's worth mentioning that even if all the ones I just listed do make an appearance, we still won't get to see every single Paradox Pokémon, because we would still be missing all the future ones. The ones from Violet, since clearly the anime chose Scarlet as the game to borrow from, with Naranja Academy and its associated uniform color for characters like Nemona and Roy, the Scarlet Book, and the Paradox Pokémon from the past making an appearance instead of their counterparts from Violet. While I have no personal issue with this since Scarlet is the version I played, it's still sad that several aspects of Generation 9 might not get to see the animated light of day. Most notably the Paradox Pokémon. But who knows, maybe they will surprise us. In any case, this should be a supremely fun, interesting, and thrilling episode that has the potential to be something special. Therefore, I absolutely cannot wait to see it when it airs on January 17. As always, I will review it once it does, so please stay tuned for that. Now, I'm sure you're eager to check out some more of my videos, so go ahead and click the links on screen. Also, if you enjoy what I do and want to help me keep creating content like this, please consider supporting me directly through one of the links in the description below. Thank you so very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.